Wow, exactly 7 o'clock.
Wow.
We're very punctual,
Yeah.
both of us, right?
Oh, yes, always.
Actually, that's a joke between us. Sandy's very punctual.
Yeah. Deb's on vineyard time.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna wait just a minute. I wish there was some way that maybe that. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, and I think if anybody shows up, it'll show over there. Okay, that was Billie Jean actually on the phone. So Billie Jean, if you show up on here, I really wasn't able to answer the phone. Okay, so tonight we're going to be reading from Inspiteofus by debandsandypalmer. That happens to be us. A love story about second chances. And what we've done is, with the quarantine, we kind of got the idea that we really want to share our story. And we're tired of just trying to sell books, and it's our heart to just share our story. So for those who are interested, for the next 16 weeks, we're going to be each reading a chapter each until we get to the end of the book. And we've committed to this, and we hope that you'll go back and listen to the videos that you've missed. This is just the second week, so if you can go back you can find it on YouTube under Inspiteofus, a love story about second chances. You can listen to the first video where we gave some background about the whole book and the purpose behind the book, and a little bit about that, which we'll share some on that every week, and then some background about each chapter. And another reason why we decided to do this is that we are actually scheduled for our third book reading and signing at Inkling's Bookshop here in Yakima. But with the quarantine, we have no idea if that will actually happen.
It's scheduled for May 9th.
Yes. Yes. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay.
And also, we're going to have a drawing every 2 weeks for a free copy of Chicken Soup for the Soul, 101 Feel-Good Stories. Laughter is the best medicine. And it just so happens my favorite author, Deb, has a story published in this book. And to be eligible for this, all you need to do is like and share right now that you're watching what's going on and right now.
You can like and share later also. Just make sure that you like and share the video. That'll help us.
Yeah. On YouTube or Facebook. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we will be announcing the winner of this 2 weeks book at the end of our broadcast this evening.
Yep. So somebody's going to get this book this coming week, and he'll let you know who it is at the end of this reading.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Before we start our reading tonight, I'm going to read one of the reviews of our book, Inspiteofus. And this review is from Jesse Dempson. and it is on Amazon and
No, Amazon.
just on Amazon, yes. Deb and Sandy's story is told without varnish. All the flaws and foibles are laid in front of you as a reader. The shift between his and her voice is seamless. By the end, you truly feel like you know them, and you can't help but love who they were and are. There's nothing terribly unique about the story. Deb and Sandy could be any of us, but not all of us are willing to show it all, to let everyone see all the ugliness so that the beauty in it all stands out in contrast. And that makes this book one worth reading. Deb and Sandy's story shows us what each of ours could be also.
Okay, and I thought that I would start off before I read my chapter. I thought I'd just read the back of the book. Our back of the book blurb. Sandy is sober, moving toward God and a better life. Deb is not sober. She believes a sober life would be like staying awake through major surgery, seeing, feeling, hearing, all. God is not a destination on her map. What happens when this unlikely match agrees to a blind date? Remarkably, a second date. The awkward mishap affair is like a stroll through a maze of dominoes triggered to collapse with the next breath. Solo, they're a mess, but as a duet, God help them. They are modern-day characters right out of the Bible. Remember the sheep? That pesky fellow wandering off, causing the shepherd to leave the 99 and take care of it. That's them. What lengths will God go to save this couple from their worst enemy, themselves? Okay, so I'm going to start off with chapter 3. We read chapter 1 and 2 last week. And for those of you who don't know, our book is written one chapter me, one chapter Sandy. I'm the odd chapters. He's the even chapters. It really should have been the other way around.
No.
Okay. Okay, when I read the beginning chapters of my story, my heart breaks for the young woman I once was, and I grieve for others like me who are lost, broken, and hurting with no idea where to go for help. Keep in mind, I've tried therapy, changing demographics, drinking more, drinking less, short term. I've made promises to self, loved ones, and even strangers. In this chapter, I am still in a sick relationship, but I do show some hope of listening to my college friend Paula, who is tired of watching me self-destruct. The only exclamation I can give for this is this. I wanted the craziness to end, but I felt there was no way out. When crazy is your norm, you don't see healthy choices. It's sort of like a person who has never seen a carrot and doesn't realize it is an option that is edible in place of what you believe is chocolate cake. I, at this point in my life, could not imagine being the kind of person who makes good choices. That's just not who I was. It's not who anyone had ever told me. It wasn't the expectations of others. And again, true to my personality, there were only two options: good choices or bad choices, nothing in between. Now add in that secretly I really don't want normal because I believe it means death, taking away everything I have been taught is of value. Simply, I'm saying my values and judgments were sickly and needed a cure. So, here we go. Chapter 3. They don't serve cocktails at an AA dance? OJ, come on, boy, Jay says, slapping his knees. It's time for Pavlov's dogs. Haley, bring the bell. OJ's our black cockapoo shelter dog, presented to Haley wearing a huge yellow bow on her second birthday. His rightful name should be OJ. We did not name him. At the time, OJ Simpson was in good standing with the world. Even so, we would never have named him that. What does OJ mean? Asked Haley when we mistakenly revealed his shelter alias. Jerry, her dad, is struck with sudden mute syndrome, SMS. So I take on the challenge of explaining political incorrectness to our wide-eyed toddler. Orange juice. OJ stands for orange juice. Hence the dog, dubbed for life, his owners cursed, forever apologizing, swearing, we didn't do it. Sharing Psychology 101 stories like Pavlov's dogs combine study with fun family time. A visual like OJ, head cocked, awaiting his treat, stays with you even when taking a test. When the giggles, slobbers, and bell ringing get old, we move on to signing Valentines for tomorrow's class party. I can tell Haley is up to something because she's helping her little brother with his He-Man Valentines. Who's Rita? Why are you giving her the biggest card? She asks. As I listen to nosy sister sleuth for details, my own stomach turns thinking of V-Day. Paula is insisting I go to an AA Valentine's dance Friday night. I've been using a guy named Jack like a dose of methadone, managing to white knuckle 10 days to go cold turkey without Wayne. I met Jack while drinking alone, incognito in a dark lounge with a bluesy piano player. He approached, a walking platitude, as the song All by Myself mocked my heart. You look like you could use a friend, he says, sitting on the bar stool next to me. Gee, what a nice guy, probably a social worker by day, spending his nights consoling lowly women in bars. Yes, I'm an idiot, looking for some loser like myself who's got nothing better to do than drink himself stupid in this dank nest of drunken littermates. I may be powerless to control the man who dumped on me, but here stands fresh, helpless prey begging for a heart slap. He may as well be wearing a t-shirt with the words, will lie through my teeth for sex. Like her generational comrades, my mom preached abstinence. The sermon began as one of purity, virginity, innocence, then turned into a hellish tale of manipulation, control, power. According to Mom and Nana, whose nose crinkled at the mention of sex, it's no fun at all. Sex is something you hold ransom for control over your husband after you've snagged one in your pure white net of virginity. Confused and way too young for experimentation, I tested the theories myself. Conclusion? Mom, who flitters eyelashes with a yes smile whenever near my blatantly sexual dad, lied. Even so, I kept her manipulation tactics handy in case I ever felt the urge to pull the wings off a fly. As far as Nana, she just may have been telling the truth. Before long, my victim from the piano lounge is bringing presents, mowing my lawn, even spouting poetry. He was just what I needed, my chance at playing the predator, never to be the pitiful prey again. But the trouble is, groveling quickly becomes tiresome, and Jack soon reminds me of my pesky little brother begging for my candy. Another beer, Jack? I don't want to show up too early. Sure, he says, leaning over, lighting my cigarette. I've never been to an AA dance. Have you? Of course not. They don't serve cocktails at an AA dance. Poor clueless Jack. The only reason I'm going to this dance is to eyeball Sandy. There's no real threat to Jack. At least he knows how to drink. This other guy is a Puritan with 3 years sobriety and a non-smoker. He goes to those meetings and believes in God. Paula flunks Matchmaking 101. She's trying, knowing my veins itch for Wayne and that soon I'll tire of Jack, my human methadone fix. When we arrive at the Grange Hall, the parking lot is packed, so we park down the block. Jack sticks by my side like a dog hair on Velcro. The party's in huddles of 6 or so people, all laughing and yelling over Lionel Richie, the DJ's ignored choice. Are you looking for Paula? She's over there, Jack says, pointing. I see her. I'm just checking things out. Let's go. This is not my thing. Oh, crap. She's waving us over. Like contestants at a picnic sharing a potato sack, I involuntarily drag Jack along to meet Paula and her husband, Jim. Hi, Jack. I'm stealing Deb for a minute. This is Jim. We'll be back, Paula says, prying me loose and leading me across the Grange Hall. Come on, you're late. For a moment, I thought she smelled the alcohol on my breath, but shrugged it off as paranoia. Besides, I've told her I'm not an alcoholic, and she, of all people, should know that normal people drink at parties. Sandy, this is Deb, she says, pointing to me Vanna White style. We shake hands, exchanging empty niceties. My stomach does that thing, that flutter thing. I want the moment to last, floating with this stranger in a crowded dance hall decorated with tacky paper hearts and pink balloons. But like all dreams, an alarm wakes you before the best part happens. A nagging stare on my left pierced through the moment. Turning toward the threat, I see a blonde woman 3 chairs to the left, eyes narrowed like a sniper waiting for clearance. What are you doing? Jack says, breathing down my neck. Nothing, Jack. This is Sandy. Sandy, Jack. They exchange a glance and a humph. Then Jack whispers in my ear, let's go have a drink, to which I oblige. The encounter with Sandy lingers in my mind that night and throughout the next day. He's traditionally handsome. Usually that bores me, yet I'm intrigued by his brute meets teddy bear nature. I push the thoughts away. Logic rules out a relationship with a sober guy who needs God for a crutch. I've no use for weak men. No time to daydream. I gather books and head to the park. The warmth from the sun coupled with the spring breeze competes with the fluttering pages of my Spanish book. I'm about to win the concentration challenge when I sense Wayne nearby, dubbed the jerk by Paula. He's shown up here before, claiming telepathy for my location. I question my motive for choosing this park. Paula says I have an addiction, not unlike hers, to drugs and alcohol. The feeling of being watched intensifies until I have to turn to look, hoping no one is there. And there he stands, leaning on an oak tree, looking like a battered puppy dog.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to read my chapter 4. It's a very short story. I don't have much to say very often, so yeah, it's just apropos, but not all of them are this short. But, AA has lots of sayings and cliches, and one that comes to mind with this chapter is you can lead a horse to water. Or no, that's the other horse one. You, you can sober up a horse thief, and you can have a sober horse thief. So
I don't get that.
you don't get that?
No, say it again.
You can sober up a horse thief, and all you have is a sober horse thief.
Okay, got it. Okay. Okay.
Okay. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And I knew that I needed to change. That I still had all of a lot of the behaviors that justified my drinking. And if I was going to stay sober, I needed to change some things. So, one of my things that needed changes was relationships and sex and chasing that thing. And I knew I needed to get out of what I was doing at the time and work on me. I didn't have room for a relationship. But then Paula shows me some pictures of this gorgeous redhead in lingerie. Yep. So I will read the chapter. Chapter 4, Step 10, Revised. I turned the key in the ignition, starting the motor, along with Cindy's topic for the drive home entitled, Who's the Redhead? What redhead? The one with Paula. How do you know her? Oh, her. She's just some gal Paula's helping to get sober. I don't know her. Cindy's gifted at sorting information. She aligns words in a conversation, selects what she likes, erases those that disclaim her delusions. I like this about her. It keeps things civil and easy. I was a practicing drunk when we met, so a pick and choose reality works. Even sober, I still cater to her denial. What's the harm in changing a word or two if it makes us both happy? For example, take AA's Step 10, which reads, Continue to take personal inventory, and we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Just insert partially admitted, and it's doable. Partial truths are kinder. I know she can handle hearing that I cheated while helplessly drunk, but telling her I've cheated while stark sober, that's plain mean. Sobriety is no cure for cheating or lying. My defense? I don't know how to tell her the truth. Gee, Cindy, it's been great, but now that I'm sober, I don't need a caretaker and would like to pursue sex when it's convenient. You know, smorgasbord style. I don't strive to cheat on her. It's more like a child whose favorite toy dims when a new shiny one flirts a challenge. Someone like Anne. I was at a friend's 3-year AA birthday party when she sideswiped me with a jazzy hello, tossing her head back to laugh without reason. Then she sets the hook with a look I recognize as, I want this toy. I mean, come on, it shouldn't count because it didn't last long. And I ended it honorably with the truth. I have no time, money, or energy for a relationship. As for Cindy, it's not like I'm hiding that I want out. I've ignored her voicemails morning, noon, and night for nearly 2 weeks. She's had it tough. I care about her. We met the weekend my friend and her ex-husband, Blake the Flake, re-upped his drinking career for the umpteenth time. She's a drunk caretaker, mopping up messes as naturally as a mother wipes snot from her little boy's nose. Now that I'm sober, she's uneasy. I haven't said the hurtful words, hoping she'll take the hint. I should have known better. Today, I found her sitting on point in my driveway. As soon as I pulled onto the block, I felt like a red laser sight was blinking on my forehead. Too late to run, I approach her Camaro. I've been calling. Are you okay? Have you been sick? I block her attempt to open the car door, and leaning into the open window, I said the two words I've leapfrogged but never spoken. It's over. She backs out of the driveway and leaves like she got what she came for. I'm shocked that I didn't need the justifications I had primed for my defense. With just enough time to pick up Paula and that cheese, I race inside, grab my books, and leave, feeling like a master communicator. I decide it's time to speak up to Paula, tell her I don't want to get involved with that crazy redhead right now. Wait till you see my new photos of Deb. I developed them this morning, she says, skipping hello. Here's one in a hat. We want you to come to dinner this Saturday. It'll be fun, the four of us. No expensive first date, a barbecue. Can you make it? Sure. Things are tough for me.
Okay, so we're working up to that notorious blind date that's coming. I don't know if we get to that next week or not. We're going to be reading chapters 5 and 6 next week. And I think it's time for you to announce the winner. It is time to
announce the winner of our...
Okay. Drum roll.
Yeah, and we'll have another winner in 2 more weeks. So remember to watch us, hit like and share, and you're eligible for the next drawing if you don't win this time. And the winner is Selena and Logan Knobs, who watched this together.
Yeah, they were watching it together, and Selena shared it. And so I'll be contacting you to talk about how to get this book to you. And we appreciate if all of you would share and talk about this and get people to come watch our book. If you missed the first 2 chapters, I strongly encourage you to go find it on YouTube under Inspiteofus, a love story about second chances. Because we gave quite a bit of backstory on that. We also, if you like to watch us mess up with our tech skills, there was quite a bit of that too.
Or you could buy one and read it with us.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Not one of those.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. Oh yeah. So I have to tell you before we sign off today that Sandy had to be told that we were reading this out loud. He was just going to sit here on camera read like this. Anyway, thanks everybody, and we'll see you next week, Sunday night, 7:00.
Yep.